Hello everyone, and welcome to a video where I nerd out about these philosophical implications of Kreia, a character from the 2004 game Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. There will be spoilers. Also, there's another video that goes more in depth into Kreia's philosophy, which I will link in the description. Please go watch it. It is very much worth the watch, and it's nearly an hour long. So, listen to it, watch it. It is good. Kreia is an enigma. She's a Force wielder, but is not a Jedi nor a Sith. Later on, you find that she was once both at some point in her life. The interesting about her in gameplay is the influence system. Nearly all characters in your party will have their alignment, light or dark, defined by your choices. Kreia, however, does not move from the exact middle of the spectrum. She is gray and not at all affected by your choices. In fact, she will disagree with most of them regardless of the choice's alignment. The player is inclined to go with the light side, as most of us swing that way. We like to do good. We like to feel like heroes. This is why most of us play games. Kreia takes this idea, however, and throws it out the window. She scolds you for giving credits to a beggar. While this act may seem trivial, she shows you a Force vision of what happens to that beggar. He ends up getting mugged and stolen from by another beggar because of your actions. If you try to scare off the beggar, knowing this outcome, then they go off and hurt someone who is only trying to comfort them. This is a turning point in the game, as it shows Kreia's philosophy very clearly. Kreia believes in small evils leading to greater goods, and vice versa. But the odd thing is her end goal. She hates the Force, and wants to destroy it, which in turn would kill most beings in the galaxy. This sounds evil, does it not? It's less evil than you think. Look at The Phantom Menace, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and Force Awakens. There are many other instances of what I'm about to show. What is a glaring similarity? Some sort of large structure, typically a space station or ship, being destroyed by a Force user, which was commanded or at least organized by a Force user. These events repeat themselves over and over, with countless lives being lost in the process. Imagine how much this has happened over the millennia, and how much more it will happen, and how many it will kill in the Force's pursuit of balance. The problem begins to emerge. The idea behind Kreia's goal was that it was a comparatively small evil, killing most of the galaxy, when compared to the Force doing nearly the same thing over and over and over throughout the millennia. She wanted to save people from the Force, which is throw people at each other and conflict out of a selfish desire for balance that no one can yet define. Is this balance two Jedi and two Sith? Apparently not, as that was the case when the Battle of the Second Death Star happened, leading to the death of Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader, the only two Sith at the time. Is it all Jedi and two Sith? Again, no, hence Order 66. The Force's idea of balance is something that we have not seen yet, nor can anyone define it. Kreia's desire to destroy the Force was a stance taken after seeing how the Force puppets nearly everyone in the Star Wars universe through the will of the Force. All of her teachings were to eventually bring a greater good through small evils. In fact, she detests that the Exile take either side, though she seems more adamantly against the dark side Exile's actions. The light side Exile merely disappoints her and fails to listen to her advice, creating greater evils through smaller kindnesses. The dark side Exile was a complete, total failure to her, a savage, mindless beast of a person who would feed on death and relish it. The dark side Exile saw not the death of the Force as Kreia did, but the death of the galaxy itself, which completely, totally opposed her goals. Instead of committing small evils for a greater good, they committed the greater evils themselves and would have killed everyone in the galaxy given a chance, just like Nihilus, Kreia's previous apprentice, sought to do. Kreia wanted to save people by committing an atrocity that, compared to what the Force would cause later on, the Death Star, Starkiller Base, the Desolator, most other superweapons, large-scale conflicts, purges, and genocides, would save more people than it would kill. Those who survive would live without worry of another superweapon caused by the Force, nor would they need to worry about the next galactic war caused almost exclusively by Force wielders. Kreia's goal was to destroy the Force for a reason. The Force makes conflicts happen in pursuit of that same balance we mentioned earlier, and even that balance is never clearly defined. Every time things are peaceful, a superweapon emerges. Those aligned with the light side destroy it and save the galaxy, only for it to happen again later. Eventually, one or both sides are purged and build their way back up later, less pure than before. For example, the rule of two's dilution, and the Jedi's corruption seen in the prequels, or the Sith Empire's encouragement of treachery in an environment that doesn't suit it, while the Jedi grow more and more complacent, seen in the Old Republic era. The Force couldn't care less about those who do not wield it. It wants balance, and it'll kill however many people it needs to achieve that. Kreia saw that and hated it. She hated the Force's objective. It would kill so many in a pointless pursuit of balance, and that no one could stop it. No one but her and the Exile. When she would destroy the Force as her goals dictated, most in the galaxy would die, but not all. This, to her, was effectively cutting losses. She would take the responsibility for the deaths and walk away proud that she prevented countless more. In the end, it wasn't for revenge or power that she walked the path she did. She knew she was right, and she wanted to use that knowledge to bring it to others, and save them as well. Say what you want. Kreia was the true protagonist of Knights of the Old Republic, or Star Wars as a whole. A harsh, manipulative, cryptic one, but her heart was in the right place. She wanted to save people and saw that, by that comparatively small evil, she would prevent a greater one which the Force is constantly pursuing. When looking at the idea of the Force in this way, we should all be glad that it's just fiction. Otherwise, the Force would pit many of us against each other in its foolish pursuit of an unobtainable, undefined balance. Perhaps the most powerful part of this story is this. At the end, you don't have a choice. The Force makes the choice for you. You preserve the Force, and with it, the teachings of the Jedi, which are ultimately diluted as time goes on into the Jedi that couldn't even stop a single Sith from wiping out their order. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I don't know what else to say, really, other than just thank you.